Hello everyone, once again welcome to my channel. My name is Shiva Krishnan and I upload videos related to data analytics and its tools such as Excel, Power BI and AI. So in case you are new to my channel, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you, and to the existing subscribers, thank you very much for staying connected with me. So it's really been a pleasure to have you on my channel, and I really thank you very much for your continuous support. So today's video again is going to be very exciting because this is one of the most complex project that I've ever worked. Uh, the most complex project I have ever worked. Okay, so I've created a mini ERP. Okay, Human Capital Resource Management ERP. So in simple words, like this portal that I've created is very similar to the portals used by companies like Wipro, Accenture, uh, TCS, Infosys, IBM. All major Fortune 500 companies have their own internal ERP systems for managing their employee database. Okay, so I've created something similar to that, all right, and that too I've done it in a matter of uh, hardly 14 or 16 hours. This is a very complex project, guys. This requires at least involvement of at least 10 or 11 people. Okay, and also it takes a time of around 9 to 12 months as a bare minimum. Bare minimum is 9 months. Okay, now you can imagine um, how exciting this could be, like how amazing this could be, that you have cut down the speed, like cut down the um, development time from 9 months to a mere uh, 16 hours. Okay, and let's say at the most 24 hours. But this is unbelievable, right? Because you have to create a portal for human resource, you have to create a portal for admin, then you have to create for every user. Okay, so there are, for this company, for this fictional company for which I've created this project, it has approximately 227 dummy employees, fictional employees. Okay, so we will take a look at so yes, here is the portal. Okay, I'm very excited. And before we get started, let me quickly read the disclaimer, because this is going to be very important. Okay, otherwise YouTube may think that this is kind of a real project, and it may even completely shut me down, meaning my channel may even be closed or terminated, which I don't want. Okay, so first of all, uh, this is for educational and testing purposes. Okay, this human capital management enterprise resource planning portal and the integrated business intelligent AI agent that I've created and um, are for strictly for educational demonstration and software prototyping purposes. This is not an active commercial production environment. Exactly, this is dummy, and this is for testing purposes. This is fictional. Okay, ये कोई रियल नहीं है, ये fictional है, ठीक है, ये dummy है, right? And the second part is the dummy data compliance. So all data utilized within this application, including the employee profiles, names, attendance metrics, performance scores, payroll figures, and resignation indicators, are entirely fictional and generated for a hypothetical 226 employee. It's actually 227 employee firm. Any resemblance to real person, living or dead, or actual corporate entities is purely coincidental. So it's not intentional here. Okay, this is very fictional here, and no real world liability. The predictive risk algorithms and weighted risk metrics showcased in this project are heuristic simulations designed to demonstrate AI capability. They do not constitute actual legal, financial, or HR management advice. Okay, so I'm assuming no liability for decisions made based on the logic presented in this tutorial. All right, just to be clear, although AI is definitely extremely powerful. AI plus the seasoned and experienced professionals, when they combine and when they join hands together, they can do something really great. So this is which is exactly what the tutorial is all about, right? I'll walk you through step by step. Don't worry about that. And the last part, the platform limitation. This prototype operates on a lean, free tier cloud architecture, including manual data modeling and file ingestion layers. It is structured as a minimum viable product case study to demonstrate modern AI accelerated software architecture and solo product delivery. Okay, this is for the disclaimer. And guys, building um, this type of portal, right, is very, very complex. Okay, although this is a minimum viable product that I've created um, within 24 hours, right? I just took hardly took 24 hours to create, do the testing and everything, and this is simply brilliant. Um, so here you guys can see that this is for the HR portal, okay? But here it is also, we also have 227 employees here. So each and every employee has um, their own login, right? So as I informed at the beginning of the interview, sorry, beginning of the video, that this type of portals are used by famous companies like Wipro, Accenture, IBM, Infosys, um, Tech Mahindra. Okay, these are famous companies in India, and even in the United States, you have Microsoft, you have Google, you have many other companies who are using the ERP software. Although theirs is completely exhaustive, like they are completely comprehensive, completely way too big. Okay, but this is a miniature version of that. So each and every employee has their own credential, okay, their own login and everything. I will explain that as well. I'll walk you through. Okay, so here I'll come down to manage employee section, and once again a reminder that these are all fictional employees. Okay, they are not real. They're not at all real. They are fictional. Okay, so click on 100 per page. You can see their employee ID. It says fictional, which department, job role. This is obviously fictional salary, etc., etc. Of 227 employees. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll log off for now, and then I will log in as a employee as well, so that you can see how it looks for the employee. Okay. Hello everyone. Yes. So this is uh, from the employee perspective. Okay, so the employee logs in, right? I mean, obviously the fictional employee, the dummy employee, right? So the way employees log in real company systems, right? So we are doing the simulation of that um, on a dummy environment here, production of testing environment. So here you guys can see that this is like the fictional company called Zyphron Systems. Okay. So some of you guys may think that, yeah, like why am I, highlighting the word fictional again and again? Because see, YouTube algorithm, when you showcase something like this, right? YouTube may not understand like if it's a real thing or if it's kind of a, fictional thing, right? And there have been channels which have even got strikes, and they even have their channel shut down, even though they were doing for the testing purposes and things like that, right? So I need to, emphasize this, that this is only for testing purposes here. There is nothing real. Okay. So here you guys can see that this is a fictional company called Zyphron Systems, and the employee has logged in here. Okay. I click on my portal, and here guys you can see that this is kind of a dummy employee ID and joining date and performance metrics and all that, right? So this is very dummy. So for like this, I have for 227 dummy employees. So imagine that, creating this kind of a project, right? And then you have for the admin as well. The admin, for the admin thing, I'll walk you through later on. Okay, first of all, it was for the HR and the employees most important. Yes, and admin is also important. But here we are going to do something about the attrition prevention. That's one of the main objective, because this is a huge problem solved faced by many companies. They face huge attrition, and attrition at times can be 20%, 30%, even 40%. And attrition clearly means that employees join and they quickly leave. Okay, there could be a lot of reasons for that, and that definitely eats into their revenue. Revenue is being lost, right? So we are going to work on this project, as in how to prevent the attrition with the help of AI agent analytics based on the um, insights, data-driven insights shared by AI agent, and then we will see how this can be accomplished. Okay, so that's it. Then I will log off from this portal, and then once again log in as a dummy HR, and then take you from there. Okay. Hello everyone. Okay, so I've logged in as a dummy HR again. All right. And in the meanwhile, let me quickly share the features and benefits about this entire project. Okay. So firstly is the unified employee like lifecycle management. It's a single centralized database tracking personal data, detailing employment profiles, compliance documentation for all these 227 employees. Okay. And the benefit is that it eliminates fragmented data. So it's like the unified portal, right? Just like how you have in companies like Wipro, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, IBM, etc. Right? And then end-to-end automated payroll and compensation. Again, complete digital calculation of salary structure, base allowance reduction. That's needless to explain. And then integrated time, attendance, and leaves. Right? Everything is in one portal. You guys can see that. And then continuous performance and career development, a dedicated tracking dashboard for annual appraisals, core KPI metrics, training certification, etc. Right? And then the most important thing is the AI powered heuristic predictive BI, the business intelligence agent, human resource business intelligence agent. Okay. So here we have the localized rule-based weighted risk metrics that instantly scans active database for low attendance and dipping performance combination, right? So here we have the crown jewel because it transforms a passive record keeping database into proactive forward-looking decision engine. It gives HR an early warning retention mode roadmap, allowing them to intervene before valuable staff resign, right? Exactly. So, in reference to this, right, I have asked this question to Copilot AI. I said this that imagine that you have a company with 227 employees, and out of that, 30% immediately hit resign. And so, how much is the estimated revenue loss because of this? Give me an estimate. Okay, a conservative estimate. ठीक है. तो इसमें क्या है ना, मैं I'll make this in English and Hindi as well, right? तो मान लेते हैं कि छोटा कंपनी है जिसमें 227 एम्प्लॉयज़ है. उसमें से 30% अचानक से ये लोग रिज़ाइन हिट करके चले जाते हैं. तो उसके कारण रेवेन्यू लॉस कितना है कंपनी को, राइट? सो यहाँ पे क्या है, देर आर सर्टन फैक्टर्स सच एज सर्टन टेक्नोलॉजीज लाइक एवरेज रेवेन्यू पर एम्प्लॉई. मतलब एक एक एम्प्लॉई से एवरेज रेवेन्यू कितना बन सकता है, कि एक एम्प्लॉई कितना रेवेन्यू कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा ऑन एन एवरेज. सो यहाँ पे एक एस्टिमेट है कि $150,000 to $250,000 एनुअली. यही तो एक अमेरिकन एस्टिमेट है, ठीक है, बाकी कंट्रीज़ के लिए अलग रहेगा. बट लेट्स गो बाय दिस कंजर्वेटिव अमेरिकन एस्टिमेट. $200,000 यानी मोटा मोटा मान के चलो तो 1.7 करोड़ या समथिंग लाइक दैट, ठीक है. मान मान के चलते अप्रोक्सीमेटली 2 to 2.5 करोड़, राइट? इतने का नुकसान हो सकता है पर एम्प्लॉय से. इतना रेवेन्यू है तो उतना मल्टीप्लाई करो बाय 68, क्योंकि 227 एम्प्लॉयज़ का 30% हो गया 68 एम्प्लॉयज़. तो 68 एम्प्लॉयज़ मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस, ठीक है, दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो $13.6 million एनुअलाइज्ड लॉस है. बहुत बड़ा नुकसान है, राइट? तो अब इसमें ये भी है कि लेकिन ये तो शॉर्ट टर्म लॉस है, मतलब हर रेवेन्यू रुकता तो है नहीं, राइट? तो इसमें अगर आप एकदम कंजर्वेटिव एस्टिमेट लेके चलेंगे तो भी $3.4 million to $6.8 million का यहाँ पे नुकसान है. मीनिंग $5 million तक अगर मिड अगर ले लो ना, $5 million तो हो गया अराउंड 40 करोड़ तक का, Okay, so now you guys can realize that like you have 227 employees. Out of that, 30% resign. Okay, which means 68 employees have hit the resign, and so average revenue per employee is um, at the conservative estimate of $200,000, right? And then if you multiply that 68 employees by 200,000, you get $13.6 million annualized loss. Now this may be a exaggerated number. Okay, this may not be the accurate picture, right? So if we take the lower ballpark figure as a very conservative, the estimated loss is around $3.4 million to $6.8 million. So if we take a look at $5 million revenue loss, that's a huge loss for any company. And mind you, I'm talking only about small scale companies like this. That this kind of problem is faced even by bigger companies, right? So that's why we are integrating this AI agent to understand how this can be accomplished. Okay. Now to do this, right, I've uh, I've worked as in fact three different people, right? So I've almost done the job of three people here, but it's actually more than that. I would say 13 people because you have the entire tech team, right? Firstly, I've worked as a product manager. I defined the product strategy from top down, looked at the market business landscape, and identified a critical gap. Okay. Now, obviously, for maintaining the database, internal employee database, they simply cannot do this on a Google sheet. That's just not possible. And at the same time, um, they may not have the bandwidth to pay $50,000 per year for enterprise system. That's just as an estimate. Okay, so I just figured out that what if I could create something at a fraction of that price, yet which also has the features of the similar major enterprise systems, right? How cool, right? And then the business analyst. So I've also translated the real world corporate complexity into clean operational logic. I took the dense traditional HR functions like compliance, documentation, payroll deduction, local labor tracking, and burnout patterns, and then broke them down into explicit, clear cut workflow rules that an automated system could actually understand and process. And then I worked as a software architect. I've engineered the actual engine while writing master prompt for this hosting horizon. I designed a structured data schema, performance score, attendance percent, notice period flag, specifically intended to feed downstream applications and facing platform pricing, right? And moreover, then you have the entire tech guys, developers. Okay, I'll walk you through as well, right? Um, you have a team of backend, front end, DevOps, QA, project manager, BA, architects, right? So that comprises of at least 10 people. So you 10 plus this three. So it's almost job of 13 people that have done this single-handedly with the help of. Obviously, I've done a lot of research, a lot of prompting to AI, but there's also power of AI plus my own system-based thinking and advanced logic that I had. I just was observing what is going on in the market, and I figured out like, okay, how we can solve a problem, right? Now, so some of you, right, may even have a question like, okay, now why build a mini HCM ERP when we already have systems? Now, as I was saying, right, that first of all, if you have to take a portal from an external vendor, you'll be easily paying approximately this amount, right? 54,000 to $40 per year. Okay, but what if I could do this at a fraction of the price with the same almost similar features, right? And moreover, um, this portal will also eliminate features which these 226 employees will never use, right? So it's almost efficient utilization of the money that you pay. That's number one. And the second thing is that um, what if you have an IT team, but if you may have your own IT team, but that you'll manage that to resolve your own system issues, but you're not going to build this from scratch. In vast majority of cases, this is just not going to happen, right? And then also, what's the need for this HR business intelligence AI agent inside it? So see, the traditional HR systems, right, are passive graveyards for data. Like they only have the passive database, they don't do much about it. Okay, so they only know about the resignation once the employee has left. Okay, but here when we design the BI AI agent, it acts as an automatic 24 by 7 look ahead radar. It actively connects the dots between a drop in attendance and dip in performance scores before the resignation happens, right? So it's a very proactive approach, not a reactive approach. It's not, when the damage is done, then you sit down and crib and, what can be done. But instead, before the damage has happened, like we are doing the proactive steps to resolve it, okay? And then this is like the instant decision support for stressed HR teams. A mid-sized company with 227 employees only has a team of not one or two, um, around, I would say, 5 to 7 HR professionals, and they don't have time to be data scientists. In most cases, they are not even data scientists, right? So here, the MindPal BI agent takes a raw, messy 226 row database and 227 row database, instantly spits out a neat, ranked list of who needs attention and exactly how to intervene, right? So this was about the features and benefits. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'll be writing this prompt to our business intelligence AI agent. Okay. And then we will see the magic happening, as in how this AI agent will function and how it can help us in trying to prevent the retention. Okay. I've pasted this prompt here, and then I'll upload the data set. So here we have the database of all the employees. I'll attach this, and then I hit enter. So, many companies, there will be often a gap between HR and the toxic managers as well, right? So now we will take a look at this, like how this AI agent is also intelligent enough to, talk on those lines as well, even though I've not mentioned anything about this in specifically. Okay. So first of all, it has given the data ingestion and validation. The total headcount is 226 employees. Data integrity 100%. No missing critical, no values in critical fields. So baseline performance score is 8.35. That's the average performance score for the all the employees. Baseline attendance is 91.95% average. Okay. And historical note: a significant anomaly is detected in the junior trainee bracket from employee ID 001 to employee ID 0050, where 100% of the cohort is currently serving in notice period, meaning 50 employees are serving notice period here. So it has identified this instantly. So secondly, then moving forward, it is stated that the based on the pattern and anomaly detection, there is a total collapse in retention among graduate engineer, trainees, QA interns, and junior data analysts. All 50 employees in these designations have resigned simultaneously, indicating a potential issue with internship to hire pipeline or competitive poaching. See, देखो ये सिंपल वर्ड्स में बताऊंगा ना. देखो ये एआई एजेंट को मैंने सिर्फ डेटा दे दिया और उसने मिनट्स में हमें एक पूरा डिटेल ब्रेकडाउन दे दिया है, राइट. कई दफ़ा क्या होता है, एचआर और ये जो मैनेजमेंट है ना, उनके बीच में कई एक गैप रहता है, तो वो ये कभी इसको सॉल्व कर ही नहीं पाते हैं, राइट. काफ़ी टाइम होता है. एंड यहाँ यही तो ये एआई एजेंट का ब्यूटी है, राइट, कि ये हमें फटाफट पैटर्न स्टडी करके बता देगा कि ठीक है चल क्या आ रहा है यहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे. एंड ये हमें कुछ इंसाइट्स निकाल के देगा कि ठीक है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यहाँ पे इतने हेड काउंट है, और यहाँ पे स्कोर, एवरेज स्कोर इतना है, अटेंडेंस इतना है. एंड इसने इमीडिएटली फ्लैग करके बता दिया कि 25% एम्प्लॉयज़ अचानक से लोगों ने रिज़ाइन हिट कर दिया है. सो यहाँ पे कुछ तो गड़बड़ है यहाँ पर, राइट. दैट्स फर्स्ट थिंग. एंड फिर इसने बताया कि ये जो जितने भी फ्रेश हायर्स है, राइट, दे ऑल हैव रिजाइन साइमल्टेनियसली. इसका मतलब है कि कुछ तो पोटेंशियल इशू है, या तो इंटर्नशिप टू हायर पाइपलाइन में कुछ ठीक से हुआ नहीं था, या फिर कुछ कॉम्पिटिटर ने इन्हें अच्छा सैलरी दे के इन्हें हायर कर दिया, right? There's a possibility. And then the senior disengagement, the burnout zone, right? A high concentration of senior level talent, senior software engineers, senior DevOps, and data scientists exhibit high performance scores, but critically low attendance, averaging 81%. This is a classic signature of burnout among high performers. Exactly. So this is, given in some indication that, there could be some toxic manager with whom they may be having an upset. ठीक है, कुछ तो यहाँ पे एक टॉक्सिक मैनेजर के कारण यहाँ पे कुछ बर्नआउट एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे हैं, राइट? तो यहाँ पे इन्होंने कहा है कि ये जो टॉप परफॉर्मर्स का एवरेज अटेंडेंस 81% है, जो कि अलार्मिंग है, ठीक है? तो इसमें भी ये भी बता दिया, देखो ये जो सीनियर एम्प्लॉयज़ है, इन्होंने रिज़ाइन हिट नहीं किया है, बट रिज़ाइन हिट करने से पहले ही इसने डेटा स्टडी करके बता दिया कि यहाँ पे इनका अटेंडेंस इतना है नहीं, तो देयर इज समथिंग फिशी गोइंग ऑन, समथिंग इज देयर, ठीक है? तो ये डेटा पे स्टडी करके इसने बता दिया कि यहाँ पे इसमें इमीडिएट अटेंशन देना इसमें भी ज़रूरी है। एंड देन द रिस्क प्रोफाइल एंड इनसाइट फॉर्मुलेशन, ठीक है? तो क्रिटिकल रिस्क में आता है, कौन हाई रिस्क में है, कौन मीडियम रिस्क में, ठीक है? So first of all, critical risk to 50 employees. Yes, this is without emphasizing. There is no need to explain this that they have hit the resignation. So what's the primary impact? Operational continuity and institutional knowledge loss in entry-level technical support. Okay. Key designations are, these are the graduate engineer, trainee, associate, software engineer, UI, UX trainee, junior data analyst, cloud support associate. They have hit the resignation, right? So it's just within 3 days, right? But still, um, there is this impact, and they need to be immediately addressed as a first priority, right? To find out, like, okay, why they have had to resign, and what can be done to resolve that. Then the second thing is high risk pool. This is the senior employees that I was just talking about some time back. Although they have not hit the resignation, but um, I mean, we have set the performance criteria, right? Whose score is less than 8 out of 10 and whose attendance is less than 88%. So there is no such, active employee who was failing on the performance and attendance. Yet, um, there is a concern here that the workforce is generally high performing, though attendance is the primary vulnerability. Exactly, which is what we have just looked, right? So, meaning they may resign anytime without informing that there is a possibility that they have hit their threshold internal, I mean their mental threshold limits, and they possibly may not be able to take it anymore, so they need to be immediately addressed, right? And then the third is medium risk, 25 employees. Okay, these are the employees whose attendance is completely uh, low despite high performance. So we have two categories. Obviously, the first is critical; they need to be addressed immediately. Second is a high risk, and then the um, medium risk. Okay, here we have their performance is less than 8 and attendance is less than 88, but there are not many employees. But here we have the medium risk, where the attendance performance is less than 8 out of 10 and attendance is also less than 90%. This definitely indicates that there is also something going on, right? So the reporting and the intervention blueprint: critical, resigned. Okay, primary drivers, notice period flagged, recommended action, knowledge transfer blitz, immediate 48-hour documentation period, conduct exit interviews to find out, like, what led to these many these percentage of employees leaving. 50 employees leaving out of 227 is indeed alarming, right? You have 25% of your workforce immediately resigning, and they may not be available. So that's a huge threat to the revenue and the operations and everything, right? That also affects their branding, that affects their client trust for those companies, right? So here's what we need to address this. Okay, यहाँ तक क्लियर होगा राइट, कि 50 एम्प्लॉय 227 में से 50 एम्प्लॉय ने रिजाइन कर दिया राइट। तो दैट इज़ लाइक अलार्मिंग करेक्ट, कि ठीक है ये क्यों हुआ है, अचानक से हो गया। तो यहाँ पे इसमें क्या है कि सिर्फ ऑपरेशनल रेवेन्यू लॉस नहीं है, इसमें क्या है कि इनके क्लाइंट के ऊपर क्रेडिबिलिटी, ठीक है, उनका ब्रांड वैल्यू एंड बहुत कुछ चीज़ का इसमें यहाँ पे इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है राइट। सो हियर वी हैव द रिकमेंडेड एक्शन, यहाँ पे बताया है कि ठीक है कौन सा एक्शन लेना है आपको, ठीक है। एंड देन द मीडियम रिस्क, all departments, attendance, scene levels, right, and attendance dip, wellness and workload review. These are the high performers. Implement a mandatory no meeting Friday or temporary remote work flexibility to recharge attendance metrics. So, in order to ease some kind of workload on them, they kind of have this. There is this suggestion that okay, there'll be no meeting on Friday, or there'll be the temporary remote work flexibility to ensure that they are not feeling that burnout. Okay, medium risk. And then the stable green, right? People who are the high performance and high attendance. So we find out like who are these high performance and who amongst them are mentors. We want to make sure that their performance and their high attendance is encouraged to continue. ठीक है, कहने का मतलब है कि ये जो स्टेबल लोग हैं ना, जो ये इसका इतना हाई रिस्क नहीं है राइट, बट ये स्टेबल है, तो इनमें इसमें दिया है कि इनको इसमें से कुछ पोटेंशियल मेंटर्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना है ताकि इन्हें प्रमोट करे एंड इनका मोमेंटम को जारी रखना है राइट। दीज आर द एक्शन प्लानिंग। ओके, आइडेंटिफाई द मेंटर्स, कुछ जहाँ पॉसिबल हो सके इन्हें नेक्स्ट लेवल पे प्रमोट करना है और बढ़िया अपॉर्चुनिटी देना है ताकि दे फील मोटिवेटेड एंड दे कैन स्टे विद द कंपनी। ऑलराइट, सो यहाँ पे एक स्ट्रैटेजी समरी दे दिया है राइट। सो बिफोर वी कंक्लूड दिस, इट हैज़ गिवन द स्ट्रैटेजिक समरी दैट योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज फेसिंग अ hollowed out junior tier while your senior leadership and mid-level management are stable and high performing. The 100% loss of the trainee junior layer suggests a critical culture or compensation mismatch at the entry level. Exactly. So it is identified that okay, amongst those 50 employees who are at the junior most level, they are hitting the resignation period. That indicates that either there is a culture mismatch or compensation mismatch at the entry level. Simultaneously, the medium risk seniors are likely over leveraged due to this junior level attrition, explaining their uh, declining attendance. Immediate intervention in workload balancing is required to prevent the medium risk pool moving to critical. Exactly. So now the risk is at the level of being managed, but now we don't want to ensure that this trend continues so that they also hit the resign period, indicating the proactive approach. Okay, so now you guys could understand that how we could what's this power of human resource business intelligence AI agent, and how amazing this AI agent has been. All right, so this marks the conclusion of this video here. Okay, and in case if you want to know more about how I create portals, complex portals, which takes 6 months or 7 months or 8 months or even 1 year, a portal like this, right? It takes 1 year, almost 9 months to 1 year, and a team of 10 to 13 people to build, but this can be done by one person. This is the power of awesome tools like Hostinger Horizon. Okay, so I'll mention the prompt and everything. And in case you are new to my channel, obviously do subscribe to this channel and watch my earlier videos where I've made complex projects like this. Okay, so thank you so much. I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you so much for patiently being here, and you have a great day. And do also let me in the comment section. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.